One thing I've noticed a lot lately, and I don't know if you have at home, I've seen a lot of violations of the Constitution. And I've seen a lot of these courts in certain areas been very complicit with what has been going on. Now, I know some of these stopgap lawsuits against certain uh, verification laws, internet laws that have been going out, that basically, if it's not written right, I can understand if the court wants to basically send it back and says, you got to write it properly. But in this case, and we've seen this in Texas, and now we're seeing it in Louisiana, we're seeing judges throw verdicts in that are very confusing, especially dismissals, that these laws violate the Constitution straight out, but yet you have judges on the benches saying, no, I think we need to continue with this to protect the children.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
I keep saying XBiz is a good hotbed for a lot of this information out there that most of you're getting on this channel, but for a good read, go over to them. Yes, it's an adult site. Yes, they do have a lot of news in the porn industry, but they also have news that's very important when it comes down to censorship. Because there is a lot of censorship going on out there disguised as age verification laws. And I've said this on numerous occasions. This has nothing to do with protecting the children. This has nothing to do with protecting women. This is pure, unadulterated censorship. We're seeing it this way. I mean, hell, the FBI is already going after people that they're basically going after wrong speech. And what I mean by that is they're classifying them as MAGA. If you oppose what the liberal Democrats are putting out there, they're going to come after you as a terrorist. You don't think that basically I'm crazy, that I'm talking crazy? Well, take a look at what's going on overseas in the United Kingdom, in New Zealand, in Australia, in France. Tell me I'm wrong. So I'm going to read a little bit of this into you. A federal judge has granted the defendant's motion to dismiss part of the lawsuit filed by the Free Speech Coalition and other plaintiffs seeking to block Louisiana's age verification laws. Now, note, ACLU and many other organizations are starting to jump in on this because the bigger organizations are realizing it. Yes, they are going against the civil liberties of the American citizen. In a decision published Wednesday, Judge Susie Morgan, a Barack Obama appointee, ruled in favor of defendants James LeBlanc, Secretary of the Louisiana Department of Public Safety and Corrections, Jay Darning, Commissioner of the Louisiana Division of Administrations, and Jeffrey Landry, Attorney General of the Louisiana, who had moved to dismiss a part of the lawsuit. Free Speech Coalition Director of Public Affairs Mike Stable told XBiz, as with Utah, the Louisiana ruling is fairly limited and only applies to whether we can bring a pre-enforcement challenge against the law or whether we have to wait until the actual suit is brought. Stable added that while the Free Speech Coalition agrees with the ruling and the case will likely continue to be fought at the Fifth Circuit, the order is by no means a ruling on the merits of the law, which is still unconstitutional. In our Texas case, a conservative judge found that there was no element of the law that would stand scrutiny under the First Amendment. Stable explained, today's ruling only applies to the private enforcement option, which allows private individuals to bring suits. Our suit against Louisiana Attorney General continues unaffected. Stable noted that while the group knew that a pre-enforcement challenge to the Louisiana bounty law would be complicated given the history of the Texas Heartbeat Act on which it was modeled, today's ruling is not a referendum on the constitutional problems with the underlying law. We will fight this and we will win, he added. Industry attorney Corey Silverstein of Silverstein's Legal expressed disappointment at Judge Morgan's decision. Thankfully, today's order, although wrongly decided in my opinion, only applies to Louisiana Rule 92800.29, which grants citizens a private right of action against adult entertainment websites operators who do not comply with reasonable age verification requirements, Silverstein said. Silverstein also pointed out that Louisiana has a second nearly identical age verification law, RS 512121, distinguished by the fact that they allow the Attorney General to take enforcement actions. The challenge lawsuit against LARS 5121 remains active, he noted. Unfortunately, there is some confusion related to today's order because it was written quite confusingly in the summary. The legal challenge related to the private cause of action component of these laws were dismissed, while the challenge on the government enforcement of the age verification remains, and the fight will surely rage on. Additionally, I think it was silly that the judge didn't rule that the laws were effectively identical, and thus, if she ultimately determines that LARS 5121 is unconstitutional, and then LARS 92800.29 should be considered unconstitutional as well, Silverstein added. And this is correct. See, the thing is, we continue to fight these situations. And I'll tell you, why do these judges in the lower court continue to allow these to go through? You know, you have to go to the Fifth Circuit, the Ninth Circuit, and then straight up to the Supreme Court, because this is going to end up in the lap of the Supreme Court. And we hope that they hear this, because basically you have multiple age verification laws out there. They're trying to roughshod the First Amendment. It's the same way that like California has been trying to roughshod the Second Amendment on there. And there are occasions that they use the Second Amendment against the First and the First against the Second. But understand, and this is many years ago, we go back to 2010 and even before that, these politicians have been on numerous occasions, trying to blame all of life's problems on what we watch on television, what we watch on the internet, the video games we play, the music we listen to, the books that we read, and the things we say. We've seen that this particular White House has gone against the Constitution. Has been said that basically they've forced companies like X and Facebook and told them, they said, listen, you need to remove these people and what they're saying. But they have a right. And people say, well, these are private companies and all that. Yeah, but if they put themselves out as the free speech square out there, and they say, well, people, they're free to say what they want, except, there are words I can't even say here on YouTube. Why is with that? They said, well, we have to protect the children. Well, how many children do you think I watched this particular show? How many on there? Maybe when I do an episode on anime. But I look at my, my age groups, most of them are within 35 to 62. Yes, I do have some younger viewers in the 18 range, but not much. Very little. Very little. My average on there, my largest amount is anywhere between 35 to the 50s. And the thing about it is, we're adults here. We're all adults. Because they say, well, we can't have people be triggered by these words. We can't be triggered by the adult content. Well, nobody's forcing you to watch these things. You, the viewer, have the choice of what you want to see, what you want to read, what you want to play. But see, there are those out there, the new Puritans, that basically say that, no, we think this is all evil, that it's all part of a conspiracy to rob your soul and stuff like that. Listen, I'm a Christian. I believe in God. But the thing about it is, I let people live the lives that they want to. If they're going to be a sinful life, they will have their judgment when the day comes. Don't take away people's rights, their freedoms, just because you think you disagree with something. Remember the 3 points that Ted Cruz said in 2010. Does the government have the right to ban books? Do they have the right to ban movies? Do they have the ban the right for the NAACP to speak? And you have to say to yourself, no, you cannot ban these things. But there are those out there that say, yes, we need to. They'll say, we need to ban porn movies. But what they really say is that we need to block adult content. We need to ban adult content. We need to get rid of the action movies. We need to get rid of the horror films. We need to get rid of films that have sex in it or particular subject matters. They're dumbing down the society. They're changing things. This is why there's the push by some to get rid of physical media, because slowly they're trying to erase some of the movies, some of the books, some of the music, or re-edit them to remove stuff that they deem controversial or misinformation. Depends on who you talk to. So we'll continue to look at the Louisiana law. Hopefully they will shut this down completely. But the war still rages. The battle still rages out there for a free internet space. Stay strong. But who am I to say but a madman with a show?
Thanks for watching. Before you go, please comment, like, and share this video. Also, if you haven't yet, please subscribe as this helps the reach of our channel. Finally, as a content viewer, you have that ability to help support this and many other channels. Especially now more than ever since the passing of a new law in the United Kingdom that will diminish the reach of many channels and affect our advertisers. If you wish to help grow this channel by financial support, you have 2 ways. There are 2 links in the description below. The first will send you to a pay site where you can make a monetary donation. The second will send you to our gear store where you can purchase t-shirt, mugs, and other specialty items. Any additional discounts will be listed on the main page. Once again, thank you for watching and your support.